So, question for people who like to craft, in particular people who, crochet or knit. Have you ever seen like a pattern that just it's so ill-advised, and the end result, it's kind of like, what was going on with this time period where this was acceptable? And I sometimes see them on my way to find more normal patterns, but then I see them and I'm just kind of like, I need to figure out, like, no one else is going to buy you, no one else is going to use you, so maybe I'm the person that can help you exist. So my hope is to kind of take one of these dolls, actually a couple of these. I think these three, 1, 2, 3. These three are actually kind of of interest to me, so I'm going to make at least 3 of these cursed dolls, but like less cursed. I'm not making any promises about them being good. They're just gonna be less cursed. I mean, a thrill in how creepy these guys look, because I mean, honestly, like, the plastic faces just look like a doll you would see in like a horror film. So what I would like to try and do is get like the spirit of the cursedness of the doll, but at the same time amp it up and, like, really see how we can best use this pattern, because I feel like there is some good stuff hidden in here. It's just, you gotta get past all of this. And a bit of a spoiler alert, I am currently working on these guys. Or I guess dolls don't really have a gender, but whatever. I'm kind of working on them, and I've been primarily pulling from this pattern book and a little bit from this pattern book. So I'll get more into it with each individual doll, but overall we're going to try and see if we can make 3 dolls who are less cursed than their original patterns were. So let's get into it. So our first doll that we'll be playing around with is nicknamed CB, aka Care Bear, aka Courtney Bloom. She is based off of a prompt that Prickly Alpaca completed in her own video, and I really liked it because, like, she did like this really cool, like, dystopian / Care Bear-esque girl, and I really liked just the creepiness of it, like that human flesh feel or look to it, and you have like this very cutesy, innocent face upon it all, and you just have to wonder what's going on with her. And so from here we're getting an overview of how I was able to assemble her and put her together. It was a bit of a different way with creating the body, because you kind of like made like a big long thing. I'm not describing it well, but it's, instead of like going up in a circle, kind of like an amigurumi, it's like you make like 2 pieces of a shirt and then you sew it up the sides. And I actually really liked that process. It made it pretty easy to, like, put like the wire for the body inside of it and all that good stuff. And now we're ready for clothes. A bit of a disclaimer, I forgot to get footage of me making the skirt, but really it was super easy. I just used cursed doll pattern to make it. I used a Barbie knitting machine pattern to make the vest for her, and this is some footage of good old Kimberly making some vest stuff. So we're gonna see how that works out over there. Yeah, so enjoying some tunes until then. And here's CB in all her glory. I kind of like it. For me, just going off of vibes, I think I did a pretty good job, and she's equal parts creepy and adorable. A thrill. So, on to our next doll. We will be doing a TV head girl, and her name is TV. Nothing too crazy. I just like TV head girls and wanted to try it out. So I played around with how to make her a little bit creepy, maybe, you know, make her a little bit weird and on her own terms, but I just decided to kind of follow the same way of creating the body that I did with CB. So similar to how CB's body was made, the difference being that I did her body all in one piece versus CB's body, who was done in 2 pieces. And I'm feeling right now how wise it was to have 2 different dolls with initials for names. But yeah, you see me kind of speeding through with creating the body. Also, if it hasn't been made obvious by now, I am by no means trying to teach you all how to crochet. If you have come to this channel thinking that I am some sort of professional and know what I'm doing at any point, I'm not that person. So there are plenty of much smarter people on this platform that can definitely teach you something to do. If anything, I can just teach you what not to do, like what to name people and whatever else. I don't know why I'm referring these dolls to people. Whatever. They mean something to me. But anyways, this is just the overview of what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna be quiet for a moment until something new happens. So here I'm finishing up the body, and now I'm on to add the TV head. I don't have any footage of me making that because, you know me, but I just modified a knitted pattern for a computer monitor from this book here. And yeah, now this is all of it combined, and now we're going to do some magic of crocheting and whatnot. And here we are with my finished doll. So we are now on to my last and final doll. I had all these plans for this lovely planet head girl. I was going to go all out based off of this picture here and see how I can make things float in the air. And I decided to do absolutely none of what I originally planned. With a piece I saw with Irem Yacizi on Instagram, and I just love the idea of making some skeletons with rabbit ears. So I decided to go on that plan because I didn't have to then figure out how to make a head float in the air. With all that being said, we now turn over to something very normal to see. I really like the pins that I used to keep her ears on her, so I decided to kind of create similar shapes from clay. So from my stack of clay bits, I chose 2 butterfly shapes, adjusted them up, and got to painting. After all that, I took really good footage that shows you really good close-up shots of the little butterfly clips in her hair, but now we will carry on to her body. I just basically followed the way I did CB's body because I found that way to be much easier, as I mentioned in the video with CB. Overall, as cursed as the initial dolls from the pattern are, making these dolls was like really like therapeutic because I mean I made these dolls like back to back in a row, and once I kind of just got like the process down, it was just really kind of nice to just sew and kind of just get into like this almost like zen like place of just maneuvering and putting the bodies together. I don't know if that makes me sound like a mad scientist or whatever, but I can assure you it's from a very artistic and sensitive, sweet place that I'm saying all of this. It may not seem like it, but truly for me it was. And it really has got me into thinking just all of the other possibilities that I could make with a lot of characters. So, because like, spoiler alert, I'm looking into doing more like doll creations in particular. I love making amigurumi, but I haven't really ventured into doll making very much, and now that I have, I'm kind of addicted. So stick around because I mean we'll see how I can do a little bit more, because I'm interested in doing, you know, more different body types, like making kind of bigger people. I also kind of want to try and do more like pattern mashing like I am here, because it sometimes is just interesting to see your work back, or, you know, kind of shown back to you like this. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping to do with some of my projects going forward. Finally, she's finished up, and I very much know how to use a camera, so you can see her in all her glory. Now, after all this, we need to kind of get her dressed up a little bit. So here's my first attempt at giving her something. I like the skirt, but I'm not crazy about the sash that I gave her. So we try something again. I'm still trying to use the squirmel, and it's still not working. I really just need to give up on this. So here we go. I gave up, and I still don't like the attempt, so we're gonna try something else. Spoiler alert, I still don't like what I've done. It will take a couple more attempts until I finally come upon this. As usual, I did not get any footage. Sometimes when I'm just in the moment, I'm just like, yeah, I can't record this and do good work. So I just decided to go full-fledged with the skull theme and create a sash with a little skull on it. And I really like it. She is kind of like a friend attached to her, and I think that it fits with the character. So yeah, these are all the dolls I was able to make in these last few weeks. So I'm really proud of them, and I'm kind of excited to do some more. So if you're here, thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.